Broadcasting to you live from the Exotic Orchard on the pre-convergence Shard of Bant. It's Tap Tap Concede.
Yo!
I'm your host, Nelson.
And I'm Ben.
That's right. And
Dad's not here.
the mice will play. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Busy day here on recording, and we're managing to get out this podcast.
Yeah.
But before we do, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Card Kingdom. Card Kingdom. We're not really sure what our slogan is. Buy cards from us, please, please. And if you are shopping at Card Kingdom, you can go to the cardkingdom.com/LRR, and in the little message box say, Loading Ready Run sent me, button please, and they'll give you a little 1-inch button that says something funny.
Yeah, we should just do one that's something funny.
Yeah, that's probably coming. Yeah, a Kingdom of Cards has been done now.
Or
so.
I can't remember what's on the button.
Yeah, we'll try to pepper those in along with some real ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe we are currently out of Card Kingdom buttons.
Nice.
Oh, yeah?
At one point, yeah.
Nice.
Or
Kingdom-
in the Kingdom of Cards, also
Yeah.
possibly.
They might have run out of that one too.
They didn't really get a say in what we printed. They just put it on, and then I know Jordan was like, ugh. Really? We let this one through? We printed this?
We're here to hurt them. Yeah. If you want to buy sealed product, you can do so from the U.S. from Card Kingdom, and if you want to buy Magic singles, you can get them anywhere, sent to you anywhere in the world, super quickly, like disturbingly soon after you can be like sleeving up for F&M and realize you forgot your sideboard, and just get on your phone, and then a rock Hydra will swoop in and drop your cards onto your table.
Oh, we're going to talk about rocks later.
Yeah, exactly. And this podcast is also brought to you by you, our kind and generous supporters at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Without you, none of our things would be possible. So thank you so much for your generous support. And also thank you to our YouTube members. New fancy ways to support Loading Ready Run.
Yeah, it's all about just options and avenues and
you
stuff.
go. That's
whatever easiest for you.
Okay, so we're going to start with a quick crack-a-pack.
Oh, this is going to be the quickest crack-a-pack.
Yeah. Would you please do the honors for me?
All right.
Here we go. And it's...
7.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, classic 5th edition.
5th edition.
That's funny because I literally was like, oh, we have a 5th edition pack in here before we start recording.
With a gorgeous gold foil.
Yeah,
and
look at
picture of
this.
Shivan Dragon, yeah.
This comes to us from Chris, or Cola, and was given to us at PAX East 2019.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Chris Colacarn, whatever your name is there.
You can feel the old... Oh, hey.
The packs were different then.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's my favorite band that nobody wants us... nobody wants to hear at the party. It's Death Grip.
Legit. Death Grip, very strong card.
Yeah, it's
if
black,
you're a metal
black,
band, yeah.
For an enchantment and black counter target green spell.
I guess they're an electronic band, aren't they?
Kind of.
Yeah, go put some Death Grips on and listen to the rest of this podcast.
Yeah, ooh,
slightly
at the same
louder.
Time.
Yeah,
and we'll see when they sync up.
We'll try to just bob a little bit.
Yeah. It's the music you listen to when you're stuck inside a washing machine. We've got Sea Spirit.
Nice.
4 and a blue for it's got water breathing.
Yeah.
And 2 and it's
and
a 2/3.
not flying.
No.
Ooh.
What a weird spirit.
Remember
Who
when
needs
this
a
cost...
color pie?
Yeah.
We don't need that.
Remember, this costs 3 in M13 or something.
I like this cool little beard.
Oh, I guess it shrinks itself. Water Courser shrinks itself. So
Yeah. No, this just got it's water breathing.
There's all kinds of things going on here.
Yeah, he's got a big old gush. Oh my god, it's haunting me.
Still getting you.
Felden's Cane.
No! Okay, if you tuned in last Friday to F&PF, Ben will let you know just how many Feldon's
I opened
Canes.
2 Felden's Canes.
They're-
My Beachlander packs.
They're chasing him.
I got a peek though at the next card.
Okay.
Oh, it's spicy.
Okay, good.
We got ourselves a Lord of Atlantis.
Right in the middle of the pack.
Ooh, right in the middle.
So wait,
yeah.
what, was this the uncommons? Do you think? Do you think it went top of the pack? Yes,
Maybe.
Death Grip 100% is uncommon. And then I assumed this water breather was common, but I guess not.
I don't know.
Lord of
Middle the
Atlantis.
pack, Lord of Atlantis.
Doesn't get any more 1993 than that guy.
I mean, there's the first pick.
Yep.
No, it's not a first pick. Goblin Digging Team. 1/1. Break some walls down.
I'd like to first pick that folio art right into my collection, though.
This card is going to be really relevant in the new Jeskai Commander.
That's right.
So you can kill your own commander.
Pick up your foiled Goblin Digging Teams now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Marsh Viper. It's 3 and a green for a 1/2. Oh no, wait, sorry. The text is so small it almost looked like flavor text on it.
Yeah.
If Marsh Viper damages any player, they get 2 poison counters, and if they have 10 or more poison counters, they lose the... Is this the first instance of poison counters? Or?
Well, okay, so this is 5th edition. It includes various reprints, and poison, I want to say, first showed up in, like, alliances.
Okay, all right.
Is that right, or was it Mirage? Maybe it was Mirage. So, anyways, yeah, poison counters were part of the very early part of the game, and then got brought back with Infect.
Well, because what's interesting is this doesn't stop the damage.
No, you take damage from original poison creatures, too.
Yeah, so it's like you take 1, and you get 2 poison.
That's most of the reason why they were so shitty.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Like, you have a swamp mosquito, and it rolls in, and you're like, okay, 19 and 1, right? It's like, this is fun.
Yeah, it's just going down in 2 directions.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yeah, Visions and Mirage. You got your Crypt Cobra, your Saber-Tooth Cobra. There's the Sequoia Assassin.
Yeah. Slick flavor text from Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, yeah.
On the card. Giving snakes a bad name there. I found my first pick.
It does give 2 poison counters, though. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Stone Rain.
I'm still taking Lord of Lannis over this
Yeah,
guy, but I do love both
go for
of
that
those
value
cards.
draft, right?
Well, I just really like playing both of them back in the day. Yeah.
Armor of Faith. It's
not the same deck.
1 for enchanted creature. Gets 1/1, and you can give it a bigger butt. It's got butt breathing. Head butting. Yeah.
Not just called farting at that point?
I guess.
When you pump toughness?
Yeah, but butt...
Poop storm, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, poop storm? I like poop storm.
Imagine if you could just breathe in and out of your bum.
Like cloaca.
Functionally.
Yeah. The card is so weird, too. The art is really... It's just this hand.
Yeah, it doesn't actually seem like very good armor, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why it's only +1/+1, right?
Yeah.
It's just a hand that, like, you hit it and you're like, ow!
Like, is that what you want your faith to do? Just caress you?
Maybe.
Or do you want it to, like, stop incoming bullets? Do you know the hand, like, in front of you?
Yeah, it just kind of covers the back.
Let's move on.
Well, I mean, this is old fantasy art, right? So they give really crappy armor to, to females. Yeah.
Yeah. Just hands.
Also fun card, Memory Lapse with that dad ass.
Sorry, I got so uncomfortable
art.
looking at this armor of faith, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the one where it's like, I'm so stoked on Mark Tadin's picture here because you just know what that wizard is saying, and we're not going to say it.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't even need flavor text. Like, your face only makes that face when you're about to, you know.
I think this is Cam's favorite art for this card.
It's
probably.
It's a very Cameron, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, yeah.
1 in a blue, counter target spell, put that spell on top of it.
Yeah, you can even just, like, it's not even an altar to just, like, put a computer monitor in front of this, and then, like, the guy's hands are just like,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where did that headshot come from?
What a weird card. Death Ward.
Oh, yeah, it's a trick.
Yeah. Regenerate target creature. Neat. Vampire Bats.
There we go.
Yeah, we got 1 for a flying 0/1, and then it's got fire breathing, but you can only spend black on it.
Yeah, every color gets the pump.
Yeah, I have a weird history with this card where, like, I played it a bunch back in the day, and I think it helped me learn that, like, you know, you should start playing Magic on turn 1. It's a terrible rate, but just, like, against everyone else's 5 and 6 drops that my other friends as kids were playing, even just wasting your turn and putting power into this guy. It's like, hey, this is...
Yeah, I mean, you're still keeping stuff in hand.
Just seems to always get the first 6 points in, and then the lightning bolts can do the rest.
I remember always being frustrated by, I think it's, was it Dragon Whelp? Is the, like, red, just, like, 0/1 for 1 with fire breathing?
2/3 for 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon Whelp is 2/3 for 4, yeah.
Oh, what's the little guy that's, like, 0/1 with fire breathing?
There's Root Walla.
Yeah, that pumps
the
itself.
madness one.
Is there a 2-mana 0/1 flyer in red that's fire breathing, maybe? Okay.
There's something like that, but anyway, I always got frustrated because, of course, you get 2 of them out, and you're like, wait.
Right.
This isn't... There's no advantage to attacking with 2 of these.
Makes black harder.
There's like a lot of little drakes, I think, that were either like 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pikemen.
Yep.
It's 1 and a white. Banding in first strike.
Banding.
Good old banding. Iron Tree Folk, because green doesn't get cool rules text. It's a 3/5 for 4 and a green.
The original honk.
Yeah.
5-mana 3/5.
Dwarven Warriors.
Hey, there's a combo in this pack.
Yeah.
You can dwarf up your, which is the one that has an... Oh, yeah, you can dwarf up your Marsh Viper.
Oh, true.
Beauty.
Yeah, it can't be blocked. Just kill them slowly.
I don't know which one's the first pick and which one's the wheel.
Could be Terror. Could be a first pick as well. Terror's like primo removal.
Totally fine first pick.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
sure.
I think it's probably Lord of Atlantis.
I like Lord of Atlantis, although honestly, if you're drafting this set, I have no idea how supported Merfolk is.
Yeah.
In Alpha, there was one other Merfolk.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right? So...
Right. Is that just like Pearl Trident?
Yeah, it's Pearl Trident. So you can make your 1/1 into 2/2s with Island Walk, and otherwise you have a
Sweet.
Grizzly Bear.
Yeah.
So like it might be Terror or Stone Ray. Terror is probably the best
Yeah.
card, because there's no like great creature in that pack or great spell.
It's a real iconic art there for Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That is
Excellent work
that
by
is
Ron
an
Spencer.
excellent depiction of the word terror. That's pretty much a perfect. Yep. Yeah. That's exactly.
Gives me.
I was so scared I jumped out of my clothes and my skin.
It gives me a Clive Barker vibe a little bit too.
Right.
If you've ever
Yeah.
seen Clive Barker's art, it's very like pastel-y kind of, like not pastel colors, but it just sort of looks like it's so many colors sort of smudged together
Right,
into one.
okay.
I don't know. I am not an art student, so I don't actually know
That's
how to
okay.
describe that kind of art. But
Yeah, like the tone on the like flesh or whatever of the afraid character in this art is an interesting color, right? Like obviously most of the paint is black, but then like it's like you're seeing the person's muscles or something.
yeah. That was a sweet pack. Yeah,
Yeah.
There was a lot of cool little things in there.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna race through some announcements. Yeah, it's been an exciting week for Magic. There was this big OP announcement recently.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of different parts that explains the upcoming next year's structure for really high level Magic. Right. So it wasn't so much an announcement about the Grand Prix or Magic Fest structure that, as far as we know, is going to remain the same, but it does give us some information about the upcoming like Players Tour and the kind of regional tournaments that are coming up, and also the new version of the Magic Players League and Rivals League. So they've for the very top, they've kind of split up. There's fewer spots in the MPL, but there's more slots total in this Rivals League, which will feed into the MPL. So the best players from the Rivals League in a regular tournament will get to go into the MPL, and then getting into the Rivals League. I read it, but I can't remember. But it's like kind of, if you fall out of the MPL, that's where you go. And then if you can be the best at everything else from the Mythic Championships on digital and on paper, then you can get into the Rivals League, basically. So that's neat. And hopefully something that most of the people in the MPL right now are happy about. Because that announcement, that part of the announcement, I think is like for them, right? If you're already a pro Magic player and you are disappointed about the news of the MPL and the Rivals League, then that seems really sad, because it really should be for the pros, for the current members of the MPL and the people who are like almost in the MPL.
Yeah,
already.
I think a lot of people were just looking for clarity, essentially.
Yeah,
Like clarity is
exactly.
always important,
For sure.
you know.
I feel like one of the big things with the MPL was it was very unclear as to like how long you stay in the MPL,
Right.
what are the requirements to get, how
What's
are
the
new
path to the MPL?
how are new
Yeah.
people coming in, if you do really badly, do you get kicked out or do you stay in for a certain amount of time, and all that stuff was very unclear. So now it seems to be like they've sort of codified that.
Yeah, so that's great. Now the other part of the announcement has to do with this Players Tour, and there'll be some open qualifiers that can feed into. There already are Mythic Championship qualifiers, and the way those are going to work looks like to be expanding. So we're still waiting on the exact details, but hopefully if you're a grinder, which could be like anyone who's just started or been playing forever, but you're interested in chasing the pro dream or just playing competitively, hopefully in your area, fingers crossed, there's more tournaments and more opportunities for you to do that. That was one of the complaints about switching from the old Pro Tour system into the current Magic Fest in the MPL days, is that we lost, like earlier than that, but it was near the same time the transition happened, we lost the PPTQs that were happening in stores, and moved to just regional PTQs again, meaning there were less frequent opportunities to play competitively. So some stores are going to be getting those back, basically. Like not those back, but something else that will probably feel the same because the attendance will be in the middle of a store PTQ and a big regional, or store PPTQ and a big regional PTQ.
I think it's also
Because it'll be just the lucky stores, basically, or just the best stores.
well, yeah, and even not in a competitive sense, like a PPTQ was my first experience with competitive REL, right? Where it's like things are obviously serious and on the line in those scenarios, but maybe a little bit less high stakes than like a main event at a GP or a Magic Fest or something, right?
Yeah.
Like it gives you, it's a good like stepping stone, especially because it's your LGS, so maybe you know people there, and it feels like a little bit more of a comfortable scenario for you to learn to play competitively too.
For sure. Weirdly, I've found in my playing career that playing at a Grand Prix actually is more casual than playing at a PTQ. Like,
oh yeah,
a PPTQ I would say is still even the most comfortable because you were like just getting a stepping stone to play for a tournament where you can get a seat.
Yeah.
But if there's a seat and especially a plane ticket to the Pro Tour where you can win lots of money, and also there's accolades and there's kind of just like the cloud and the sense of victory attached to it. If that's on the line in the tournament, I've found both playing and judging, watching players, like that's when people are playing their most serious or the most cutthroat. Whereas at the Grand Prix, it's like you can win a lot of money, but because a good finish at a Grand Prix is like you prize and you got some money, but it's no closer to getting to the next thing or getting an invite, people are just a little bit more casual.
Yeah,
it's
for
fine,
sure.
but yeah.
Well, because I mean, that it helps that like Magic Fests and whatnot are so much more than just the main event now.
Oh, for sure,
too,
yeah.
right? Like, I mean, depends on what you're aiming for, I guess, as like a player. But I think that especially since they became Magic Fests and not Grand Prix, they've been aiming it more as a convention and a celebration of Magic, as opposed to just this all about the GP, this high stakes sort of environment.
And that's still great.
Yeah.
We said it before, but the change of the name of the Grand Prix, because the Grand Prix actually is still a thing. The Grand Prix is the main event at a Magic Fest, and giving it the new umbrella of just like the weekend is the Magic Fest is total. I'm still totally in favor, and I think it's worked out great.
Yeah, well,
that's kind of what they were already. The Grand Prix was already like the big gathering.
It wasn't quite at the time they made the name change. I mean, we talked about this obviously forever ago, but like now they're doing more panels and they bring in more
party
artists
stuff. There's
and
more kind of events.
Yeah, they're funneling more. Right. Channel Fireball has been funneling more money into the outside of just the event kind of stuff, which has been super cool. Like especially in Seattle, they had a huge Artist Alley area, which was super cool. We got a booth to sling art stuff, so it was awesome. I was very, very impressed with how it's been moving.
Yeah, what makes Magic Fest? It's LRR. Okay, so James and Graham will probably have things we want to talk to about that, or Cameron or whoever else is on the show. So we'll probably come back to the OP announcements. There'll also be there'll be more refinements and exact details that come out with that. So we'll talk about that again. I also want to talk a little bit about Judge Academy.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a hot button sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure. So I've read a fair bit, and similar to the OP announcement, I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'll go over it. Yeah, talk over what Judge Academy is.
So Judge Academy, there's been a thing called back in the day there was a thing called DCI, and recently there's been a thing called the Judge Program. So this is a set of high-level judges and administrators or whatever who are kind of in charge of the direction of how judges get certified and look for work and communicate with each other and gather and write reviews of each other and organize. And its contract, they were told by Wizards that their contract is over in October, and they needed to find some new entity needed to come up for like legal reasons. So what we have is Judge Academy, which is is owned by Tim Shields of Cascade Games, and has a bunch of like high-level great judges already on staff working for it and managing it, and it looks to have a plan, if not an answer for every question, but a plan in place and hopefully an answer soon for a lot of questions. It also, so it's going to take over certifying judges. It's going to charge a yearly membership. This is new. It's charging the yearly membership of its judges. So if you're a level 1 judge, you have to pay $100. If you're a level 2 judge, you have to pay $200. If you're a level 3 judge, you have to pay $400.
Okay.
So this, like, the initial reaction to this from I would say most people is one of kind of disappointment or distaste. To me, it kind of says like, after, you know, reading more and trying to understand why they're doing it, it's just like kind of disappointing. I would rather live in a world where not just that I don't have to fork over some money, but just that, like, you know, we're acknowledged and taken care of by the parent company more, just that they have a way to to fund, like, it'd be nice if Wizards had a way to fund this so that they don't have to ask for the members to pay for it.
Because the thing that I think didn't really do them service was they gave this sort of half announcement.
Right. The way the announcement about Judge Academy happened was
just not a smart decision, I think. Like they only released the bad news kind of as like a, hey, there's a big thing happening. Yeah. Here's this thing that's obviously a very hot button topic. We'll explain in a couple of days, and just like left everybody to just sort of like I remember Serge ran in the room. We were playing Friday Night Paper Fight. And he's like, just so everybody knows, this is happening. And he's like, oh, that sucks. And he's like, yep. And he like walks out, and we were like, whoa, okay. Oh, so Serge. that didn't do them the service, but
yeah, I mean, cooler heads are going to prevail eventually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I was going to say the consensus I've heard was that for whatever reason, whoever fault it was, it seemed to have to be put together way faster than it should. Like, it seemed to be a real scramble. Whether the fact that the previous judge thing was going to be discontinued wasn't made clear to these, what wasn't made clear, and then they had to sort of scramble to create this new entity.
Yeah, I heard that they had a rumbling, or they knew that it was going to be happening a couple months ago, so they had kind of like 3 months to do it, which is like not great. Like October is in like 2 months from now, right, or less. Yeah, it's in like 6 weeks. So, and these announcements just came out a week or two ago, and then the company has only just like formed 3 months before that. So it's like they really should have been given like another year to figure everything out, but they couldn't for reasons. So it's like, yeah, I mean, the Judge Academy, the forces that cause Judge Academy to need to exist are like maybe disappointing and not ideal. But when I say that, I don't mean to call anyone out on their efforts to bring it about. It does look like Judge Academy is going to be a very exciting organization to be a part of, and going to help judges a lot, and hopefully make a bunch of judges' lives easier, and also going to reward judges for a bunch of the really hard work that a lot of them are doing as volunteers. Like on Judge Apps, judges just write articles and content and like things like flashcards and translations, and they do all this work just because they think judges are great and they like the community, and they work super hard. But like, it's a lot of time. Like, they put a lot of time to it. I've like only dabbled, just like trying to do little bits when I have something I think is useful. But there's plenty of people who just like have the time or make the time to just like put a bunch of content on Judge Apps just so other judges can like get up to their level and learn this thing. So the community is great, and hopefully the community just like stays together and still feels like that.
So the premise is that Judge Academy will be creating those kind of resources, flashcards and things with like their paid staff. Yeah. Will actually, rather than relying on random volunteers to do it.
I think
that's
probably
sort of part of the.
I think probably they're going to end up buying a bunch of the older stuff. Yeah. Or hiring people to do similar things. Yeah.
Does it so I'm curious what where the benefit of it lies in certain senses. Like, does it operate at all kind of like a union in any way? Like, do they help you find? No, okay.
For sure not. Yeah, so it's not that. It is a place where you can get certified to judge Magic tournaments.
Right.
And your certification, in theory, this is sort of a question, but I think the answer is like a resounding yes. Like, your certification will be recognized by large tournament organizers, and most likely your LGS, like maybe there'll be an LGS that's like, we don't want a Judge Academy judge, we want this other judge, or like if we're being realistic with this example, there'll be like an LGS that's just like, no, we're only using this judge, this guy we know, right? And like, an LGS, I don't know if they have like a right, if they want to be in the WPN or not to do that. That's an interesting question that might come up. Who knows?
Yeah, because I'd be curious, because it's just
like I don't think the WPN has let out an announcement about Judge Academy where they're just like, you need to have a Judge Academy judge if you want to run F&M. Like, that announcement might come out, but as far as I know, has not.
That would be more intriguing, I guess, in that sort of way, because it's just like there has, to me, in the sense of like a certification, not necessarily a promise that you're going to get jobs within, that, but it feels as though that there needs to be some sort of backing on it, right? Otherwise, this is just some entity that's like, pay us dollars and you get a shiny card. Right. That shiny card doesn't benefit anything.
Well, we didn't talk about that, but it's like you pay them dollars, which I mentioned is like kind of, it sort of disappoints me that like you need to do that, but they are just covering your cost for paying them dollars. Like, they need these dollars in order to run the academy, but they get the cards from Wizards to send to you for giving them dollars. So it's like, this is just the way they've managed to like get funded. And then, but weirdly, the people funding them, like the judges paying this money, shouldn't actually be out of pocket anything. Like, I'm a level 2 judge. I'm going to be sent whatever it is, 16 foils next year or something. And I should have no problem getting my $200 back. And that's the case for like every level, right? Like, it should be a total piece of cake. The only like difficult scenario is there might be judges who have a tough time initially coming up with the money, and there are some, like, I think grassroots. I don't know that there's an official like Judge Academy will like try to make sure that you get hooked up with someone who pays your fee for you, but there are like judges, of course, trying to help each other. So there are people in lots of places saying like, okay, well, I'll buy your foils in advance or whatever, assuming you go and do it. But that's still, it's still definitely an extra layer of work that a judge who doesn't have $100 or $200 or $400 needs to go through. So that's maybe a little disappointing too. I hope we don't lose anyone along the way.
Yeah, it would certainly honk to like have people not be able to judge anymore because they can't afford a membership or something. Because it's like, I can absolutely understand some sort of payment regarding like, to get your certification, because most things in life in general,
first aid courses aren't free.
Exactly. Like, to a lot of the jobs that I used to do, like forklift training and all that jazz, you had to pay for it.
Ladder
you could
safety
eventually
isn't free.
It.
Food safe isn't free.
So it's like that makes sense to me, but then typically with those, there's some indication that I'm getting a job. So
for sure.
My only worry is that somebody manages to scrounge up $100 and then doesn't get on any gigs or anything like that because they're like, oh, we're all full up or what have you.
Well, there is also like a certain back in the day I had like Microsoft professional certification or whatever. I would take a test and do all this stuff. And there is definitely like an implication that having that certification opens up certain doors in terms of getting jobs and stuff. But there's a weird situation with the judge. It seems like, except for when you're, as you get in the higher levels of judging in larger events, it's a little different. But especially at sort of a small local event, judges are often sort of volunteer for their or a very minor sort of honorarium or something.
There's a really big spread because when you're not judging a competitive event, you're allowed to plan it. So plenty of judges are like the judge at an LGS F&M, and they still just also plan it, and like maybe they get their entry fee free, or maybe they get like some extra swag, or they get like a discount, or they work something out with the LGS owner, but they might just be judging because they want to and they enjoy doing judging, but they are in every financial sense another player, right? So
and sort of the paying for certification in order to volunteer is a little bit it's hard to swallow.
A little hard to swallow.
So hopefully there's something within that because again, like I'm not like dogging on it or anything. It's just it's weird for like, because I think it's absolutely important that, like, as you were saying, that there's official resources and stuff for judges. People are being paid to put together these things that other people can use, and where else is the money going to come from, right? It's like it's tough not to just be like, well, the money should come from Wizards or Channel Fireball or people who need judges to run their event if they're looking at the certification program. But
TOs do pay judges, so you can make that weird capitalist argument where it's just like, who knows? You go to work and CFBE pays you, and then you go give your money to Judge Academy, so it's like CFBE did kind of pay for it.
Who knows?
Anyways, there's also like it's been stated that like they're could be other options for certification besides Judge Academy, which like maybe has been true of the current judge program too. Maybe there are other options for judge certification. I had never thought of it before. Certainly just like when I started, I found a judge and said, hey, how do I become a judge? And then they're like, hey, these resources. And I do that all the time, right? When people walk up to me and ask me how to be a judge, I point them towards the judge program.
Yeah.
But maybe next year I'm going to have to explain like, oh, okay, well, where are you? Or like, have you heard of Judge Academy? And like, you know, or which store do you play at? Oh, they need you to go through this, like, you know.
Yeah. There's so many if there's like competing resources, like, well, if you like so-and-so, you can go to these certificates.
Yeah.
Here's a selection of pamphlets that give you outline the different
first if you buy your cards from
standing outside of YJ, like, have you heard the good news? Like, he's got like 3.
Yeah. Come on down to Crazy Nellie's School of Judging. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'll see you on the internet later when I am a GIF because I said that.
At least all the information is there, because like it always just comes down to clarity. I can't believe I know I already said it, but I just can't believe that initial tweet. It was weird. I don't know whose idea.
It was rough, and it was probably ultimately like a mistake, but they were put under pressure to like get this announcement out, and they were put under pressure to like get this company made. And they honestly like I like have hung out in the like Google Hangouts or Facebook Live chats or whatever with like the judges who are on staff with Judge Academy and trying to answer questions, and like they really are just like doing their best to get the word out to judges who need to know, and like they also are being super cool, right?
Twitter and social media,
they're pretty approachable.
Yeah,
they
Twitter
just don't have all their answers yet.
Yeah, like Twitter and social media is all it's a skill. Like knowing what to say and how it could be interpreted in 20 bajillion different ways is like kind of part of a business.
Yeah,
a little bit. And in that scenario, obviously, like they were under pressure, and hopefully, like all the information is there, and clarity will always kind of continue to be the way for it, because it's such a major shift.
Yeah, but to answer your earlier question too, it's definitely not a union.
Yeah. Oh, right? No.
Even though it sounds like union dues, right? You have to pay a yearly fee that's a triple-digit number, right? And it's like, no, it's not a union at all, and it isn't. They definitely have said like, we are not here to like, you know, get judges medical benefits or to help judges get jobs. Like, we're not here to talk to TOs and make sure that judges have job security, or, you know,
well, that's the major thing, right?
It's argue for their wages, right? Like,
I don't picture it as a scenario, where like you said, like getting like benefits and stuff, but like certainly like I used to work with IATSE, which was like the theater workers union, right? And they would give you calls and be like, hey, we got a job on this time. Are you available to come do this? And you'd be like, yeah, sure. Right. So I was like hoping that maybe it would be something within that line, like, hey, we've got you on our list of judges. There's this tournament here. Can you go? But I guess that's like
maybe that'll come into the future. Maybe there'll be a judges union someday.
Yeah, because it's difficult. Because you obviously need like you would need a union building in every city that runs like a major thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But because you can't just be like, hi, I see you're listed here in Canada. There's a Magic Fest happening in Osaka. Are you able to make this one? Like, can I write you down as working it? And you're like, no.
Well, I mean, maybe that's how it works now.
Will you fly me?
The postings come up on Judge Apps right now, and then you look at your schedule, and then you look at Google Flights, and you're like, well,
I was talking to a friend who's in Seoul now doing that kind of stuff. So
I mean, that's already what judges do. We're a jet setting.
You travel more
James
than we do.
Bond, you know,
first class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wish. No, I don't think I traveled more than you guys do. I didn't go out east this year, so that's cool. Did you do that trip? A bunch of people went to Boston.
No, I didn't do Boston. But
I don't travel as much as Graham.
Yeah, Graham goes a lot. Last year I got to do Australia, so that's a pretty big one.
That's awesome. Okay, that's all I got for you, but we'll probably talk about Judge Academy more, and we'll definitely talk about the OP announcements more once we learn more about them, because everyone learns more about them. We will offer the medium, cold, and occasionally much too spicy, like I can't eat this takes.
Please take it back. I'm a white guy. Kind of.
I'm here for the medium takes, and I hope you have enjoyed them. All right, let's talk about Commander.
Yeah, there's only one reason why I'm ever invited on to Tap Tap Concede, and it's usually to talk about Commander in some form.
You're probably supposed to be here every week.
Your boy's back. So Commander 19 is coming along. They did the full spoilers, and I'm sure every Magic podcast under the sun has probably gone over all the cards and stuff like that, but we haven't. Damn it! So we're gonna give you some.
And we're under the sun, and we're a podcast.
Yeah,
damn it.
We follow those exact categories, so we're gonna talk about these things.
Yep.
So I mean, forever ago they talked about the what the 4 styles are going to be. You got your Morph, you got Flashback, you got Populate, and you've got Madness. And so I'm sure for most people listening, you've probably taken a look at them if they interest you. So the kind of things that I guess I wanted to talk about are what decks I think are going to be most fun for people out of the box, what ones are going to be the most powerful, and what kind of cool things you can get out of them if you're just kind of looking to like, because a lot of people just purchase all of these because there's certain cards in there that might intrigue them and they're not printed in other things.
Well, they just want commander decks, and you buy all 4 at once, you usually get a bit of a deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think honestly, the deck that most people are probably excited about is the Morph deck.
Okay.
A lot of people who play Animar were pumped by this. Because the Animar is already a very, very strong commander deck. Right. And now it's getting even more support and more cool cards and stuff. But I like the consensus that's kind of around this Morph deck is it's Morph, but fair and balanced, I guess. It's going to be more of a mid-rangey, grindy thing where you just get a lot of cool value.
Would you say
things.
most Morph decks so far are fair and balanced, or underpowered, or are they overpowered?
Animar decks are very, very strong.
Animar decks
get to the point where they're just playing. I mean, this is obviously like CDH kind of level stuff, right? But Animar decks can just eventually just start playing like their entire deck and whatnot. And for those who don't know what the card is, I guess it's Temur mana, blue, red, green for a 1/1. It's got pro white black just because.
Yeah.
And whenever you cast a creature spell, you put a 1/1 counter on it, and creature spells you cast cost 1 less for each 1/1 counter. So all you got to do is get 3 counters on this thing, and all your morphs are free.
Right. Okay.
Right. So that's kind of the big part of it.
And Animar was the featured commander in the Commander 2011 precons.
One of the first commander precon deck cards, right? Like, didn't this guy come out with Scavenging Ooze, like in the very first set of,
I think so,
of commander product decks?
Yeah.
Also, you mentioned CEDH, so let me do the Marshall here, and it's like, what does the C stand for?
Competitive.
It's competitive. When you talk about CEDH, you mean your good deck.
Yeah.
Your broken deck.
Yeah,
your unfun deck. The deck that you put away and your friends won't play with anymore.
Yeah,
but you didn't tear it apart.
Yeah, the one that wins on turn 2.
Exactly. Okay.
And so Morph is actually quite powerful in Commander.
The people that were plucking to play Canadian Highlander.
Yeah.
The CEDH players. Yeah.
So this deck was exciting for a lot of people, and the card that's at the helm of it is, God, I'm always going to forget her name. It's Kadena?
The Naga lady?
Yeah, Kadena.
Slinking sorcerer.
Yeah, and so she basically lets you cast your first Morph creature for free. You just get to, the first one you cast a turn, you get to put it down.
Like an Animar with a throttle.
Yeah, the idea being that one of the big things about Morph decks is that you never want to have all your mana tapped down. You want to be able to have it up and available at all times so you can do your cool flippity-do and gotcha somebody. And then whenever a face-down creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get to also draw a card. So it's just like, it's going to consistently value people out. And there are some like really exciting things on this, but the main part that I find about this deck is it doesn't have too many cards that are new that I think can do things very well outside of a Morph sort of shell. Like, there's just going to be sort of better things for you to do. Like, a lot of people are really excited about, it's the monkey snake, Thieving Amalgam, because it's an ape snake, right?
Creature types are fun.
Yeah, but it's like, so at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you manifest the top card of that player's library, and whenever a creature you control but don't own dies, its owner loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Okay.
So it's like...
This doesn't have Morph, though. It's a 7 drop.
Yeah. So it's like, this is kind of interesting, but it's like, this isn't doing anything with the cards that are in the deck, really, right? Like, this is
it
just
gets
kind
you
of
face down creatures,
yeah, right. So it's like, it's a very interesting card, and I think it's super cool. But like with the Morph deck, there's a lot of like reprints of stuff.
There's a lot of words on this one card. Whenever a creature you control but don't own dies.
Yeah.
So once one of the things you've stolen dies, its owner, that's your opponent, loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So
I like it's like Mill but with extra steps.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. Okay, I also missed that he has inherent synergy. It's because you manifest the top card of that player's library.
Yeah, he does everything in one.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
This guy is doing all of the weird things together. Okay, good. Sorry,
But
I thought
it's
he was just
7
making
mana.
manifests.
Yeah.
Just like a Whisperwood Elemental. But I did the classic Magic player thing of reading a paragraph and thinking I had read it, but really I skimmed it and filled in wrong words.
It's like, oh, you know this effect. Yeah. It's a cool card, and a lot of people are excited about it.
Tap, tap, concede. Brought to you by reading the card explains the card.
Yeah. But I think the card that most people are excited about out of this is Volrath. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I like Volrath
the
Shapeshifter a lot. Or Shape Stealer, sorry. Right.
'cause
that guy from this deck seems really sweet.
Yeah, because it just does cool things, and people like commanders that do cool things.
For sure.
So it's like at the beginning of combat on your turn, you put a -1/-1 counter on up to one target creature. Worth noting, it's target creature.
Right.
So you can put it on your own if you'd like, or you can put it on your opponent's creatures. The world's your oyster, right?
Put that -1/-1 wherever you like.
Yeah, and then until the end of your turn, Volrath, the Shapeshifter, becomes a copy of target creature with a counter on it, except it's a 7/5 and has this ability, so you can keep doing that, and you can keep shapeshifting if you'd like.
But wait, Judge, if there's a -1/-1 counter on my opponent's Primeval Titan and then I copy it, will my Volrath be 6/5 instead of 6/4 instead of 7/4? No, because you're not going to copy the counter.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's just cool.
I can hear you asking.
Yeah. What I really like about the design of this card too is they put it in. They have green. It's in green black still. So a lot of people, if they want to, can slot this into your Hapatra deck and add blue. You get a whole another color to screw around with. I think the card's it's super neat. You can go so many avenues with this. You can do like a clone-y style deck as well. Like
clones are fun cards in general, and this is like a cool flexible clone.
Yeah, so
but also is just a beatdown engine. If you don't even activate the first ability and you just want to attack, you can make this your commander.
It's a 7/5.
It's got that 7, the classic commander number of 3 hits, right?
Yeah, it's a 7/5 for 5.
Yeah.
It's like
Reasonable.
above curve already. Yeah.
Reasonable.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sure North 100 will have something to say about this card.
Yeah, and again, like I'm sure some people
are
are like, but Ben, you're missing this card, which is like the coolest. And I'm like, you're not wrong. Like there are cool things. There are some cool new morph things like Cadena's Silencer, which is a 2/1 for 2, but it also of course has Megamorph. And when it's turned face up, you just get to counter all abilities your opponents control, which is just neat. Just cool like little card. I like how it's costed and stuff. It's 2 all around. But like I think this deck will be a lot of fun out of the box. Like it'll be one of the most ones you can play like out just if you get all 4 and you have no personal preference on how you're playing Magic.
And you're a commander player.
Yeah,
like you're already
really
an
cool.
entrenched commander player.
Yeah.
I think if you get these decks and you're new to the format and you've decided that Commander 2019, hey, your local store has Commander precons, you and your girlfriend are planning to get into Commander together or whatever, I think if you're brand new, you should play the tokens deck.
Yes.
I think this Proliferate deck is like really, really good.
It's I was going to say, this is the strongest deck.
But also like
opinion.
maybe the easiest one to play.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
It's got a whole bunch of bombs. They're not that hard to figure out.
Yeah.
You
And
can just make a bunch of big tokens.
Exactly.
And they do cool stuff.
That was going to be the thing I
Yeah.
talked about. I think my favorite thing about this deck is the fact that it decided, you know what? Everybody plays go wide tokens. Everybody. You think of tokens, you're like, I'm swinging at you with 71 ones. They decided to go tall with this, and I think it's super cool.
Big
because
tokens,
You've
right?
got like Desolation Twin and stuff in there, like you've got Dragon Master Outcast that like starts making dragons and stuff.
Sweet 5-mana Garrick.
Yeah, giant Adaphage, which is always like a,
a funny
big
card.
dumb insect that I always forget about. It's a 7/7 for 7 with trample that starts making other its.
Yeah.
Like it's just this deck seems sweet.
Swag Tusk is back if you didn't have enough of those yet.
Yeah.
The Mimic Vat,
I think-
always popular commander card.
I think an incredibly spicy include, but also just because I love the card, Feldon is in this deck.
Feldon's in it.
So
Super
it's like,
fun.
Even when they kill your giant Adaphage, you Feldon it back, hit somebody with it, and you have another giant Adaphage. And then that giant Adaphage can make more Adaphage.
Oh, they included Rocket. That's incredible.
Does he have his cane with him?
I don't know. No, because I keep
Still
taking
following
them.
you, yeah, because you have all of them. Turns out he has 3 canes, but they're all in Ben's collection now.
I think the card though that the most people are excited about is Atla Palani Nest Tender.
Okay, this is the 3-drop. So
this
it's the alternate commander,
4-drop.
right? 4-drop. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the alternate commanders.
The one on the box, the one on the cover is a 5 mana 2/5. Is that right? And this one's a 4 mana 2/3.
Yeah, gear.
Oh, right. Yeah. So we got the wrong Ben in to talk about the egg stack, unfortunately.
Yes, but I have an idea to pose to you. So
Ooh.
most of the internet is talking about this card because it's very easy to do a sweet little cool infinite combo.
Okay.
With it, which is you have Atla out, you have what is it, Thornbite Staff?
Okay, that's the wizard Morningtide staff that equips to a shaman one, probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, the shaman one. Equips for free when you get a shaman in and allows the shaman to ping, right?
Yes,
Tap
but
to deal
also,
damage, yeah.
It untaps whenever a creature dies,
Right.
which is the key line of text on here.
That's why it's more than 10 cents. Yeah.
So now, basically, whenever a thing dies, you can untap your Atla because she's a shaman, and so all you got to do is throw in a Ashnod's Altar in there,
Okay.
and that will sacrifice the creature as well as give you 2 colorless mana to use Thornbite
I
Staff again if you would
see.
like. But well, sorry, you're not using Thornbite Staff. You're using it's
Her
untapping,
ability.
and then you're using Atla's ability to make an egg.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Do
So
we need a
the-
third piece to deal the damage or whatever? Because
No, so the damage doesn't matter. That's
Okay.
not what
Okay.
we're talking about here. So you have Atla, right?
got Atla.
So
Can we
and
bring
she
Atla back up?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So she costs.
The one I'm the least familiar with.
Yeah, she's for 2 mana. You can tap her.
She's
and you
got a
make an
trigger.
egg.
She's got a trigger whenever an egg dies.
Yeah. So now
Right.
you tap her, you make your egg. You have your egg. You sacrifice that egg to the altar.
Right.
It makes some cool thing, which we'll talk about in a sec.
That's the juicy part.
Yeah, and then because it's a thing's dying, she's a shaman. She gets to untap. You also get 2 mana from that sacrifice of the Ashnod's Altar. So now you can pay 2 to make another egg.
Yeah.
and sacrifice the egg, and basically
You
play
can
your whole
sacrifice
deck.
as many eggs as you want, and the triggers every time an egg dies, you're gonna polymorph. So you just make sure that you've got a Kiki Jiki and a Pestermite somewhere in your deck, or whatever your choice.
You can't
of
put a
big
Pestermite,
dragons.
but yeah.
Oh right, my
Nah, yeah.
might be
But just
a Kiki
every
Jiki and a Resto Angel.
or
deck.
just every creature in your deck comes
Sure,
out.
yeah, just every creature deck. Make sure
It's
that
not really
one of
even
them
a
gives the
combo at
other
that
ones
point. Yeah.
haste and then just attack everybody. Yeah.
Now that's what everyone's talking about.
Right, just getting a whole bunch of Terracodons, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you are not looking to do that because maybe you're playing more casually and more for fun and stuff like that.
If you want to be fair.
Yeah, everyone's like, well, play all the egg creatures and stuff. And you're right.
Right.
There are some cool eggs. In fact, literally in the deck, you've got Rock Egg, which is just like classic card where has very...
Yeah. Well,
gives
Rock
me-
Egg is a callback to Rook Egg from
Yes.
Arabian Nights, but it's
Right,
in
yeah.
white instead of red. It's sort of more of a white kind of effect, I would say, having a defensive card and then also having a flying creature.
Yeah. But
Right. Rook Egg, same card, but in red.
But what's interesting is, sorry.
Oh, sorry, it costs 4. Made it a
Worth
4/4.
noting too that
Sorry.
Rook Egg. Sorry, I should have been clear. Rook Egg is an actual creature type egg.
Yeah.
Rock Egg is not. It's a bird.
Oh, wow. I didn't even
Yeah.
notice. Okay, that's hilarious.
Yeah, which
That
is frustrating.
Is that right? It's not oracled to be an egg?
no?
That's so
I mean,
brutal.
unless
Okay.
they've changed it.
That's fine. That's fine.
let me
Maybe
see,
they
'cause
just did that to tease
It is a
you.
bird egg.
Oh, it's
Oh,
both.
is
It's
it?
both.
Okay, so they
It's
did
both.
oracle it.
It's a bird egg.
Okay, cool. Good, good.
Were you looking at your copy at home or whatever? And it
Yeah,
just said
it's like,
bird.
it just said bird. Yeah.
Brutal. There's also there's another egg creature from I want to say Mirrodin, maybe Darksteel. That's like some kind of there's Dragon Egg.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. And it's like I think it's 4 to cast, and then it also does like a polymorph thing or something.
Yeah.
Chromatic Egg maybe. I'm not sure.
But the main thing that everyone is like, well, there's like 6 eggs. No, there's approximately about 15 to 20 eggs.
All the shapeshifters are eggs.
Boom! You
Right.
gotta put that in your head. All these shapeshifters,
All the changelings,
while they
that's
could
what
be
I'm trying to say.
vampires or they could be goblins,
Yeah.
they are also eggs.
Modern Horizons just gave us a bunch more eggs.
That's not like a great assignment as a shapeshifter. It's like, okay, you're changeling. You're gonna spend the next 10 years as an egg.
Yeah.
Don't move.
So yeah, you can basically do that, and also, I mean, you could still put the Thornbite Staff in, and then no matter what, your egg now can turn into another egg as
Right.
well, and you can start splitting them off and having all kinds of fun things. So you could basically fill your entire deck with nothing but gigantic, big, scary creatures, and changelings.
Right.
And then that's just like a fun little polymorphy style.
Maybe try to put some
Guess who got-
sacrifice zealots in there.
Guess who got oracled to be a lizard egg?
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Not on color for Commander,
Yeah.
but that's good to know. I mean, clearly pictured in the art is Ludovic's test egg.
Yeah.
Right?
And so the other thing that I was looking
That
at
card
with
was
it
so
too
fun. Yeah.
was are there effects like Arcane Adaptation in these colors? Arcane Adaptation is 2 and a green for
Right.
an enchantment that you select a creature type. All creatures are in your hand or in the graveyard or everywhere are that type.
So
essentially.
I want to jump in here with, I think, the answer to your question, which is sort of a soft no, because these enchantments that permanently get your creature types all to line up have been printed more recently in blue, very recently in Standard. This card was also in New Phyrexia, I think. And
Oh, was it?
It's a different one.
Oh, right,
It's
yeah,
the same
okay.
effect, and then the original one is in
Xenograft
black
or whatever?
It's Conspiracy, right? Like that's the actual name of the enchantment. But I'm sure you found out while you were looking for changelings, there's a way to turn all your creatures into all the creature types for a turn.
There's that.
Yeah.
But I was going to mention Rune Stalactite.
Okay, sure. One of your creatures permanently turns
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
one by one.
yeah.
And there's another rune stalactite
there?
in MH1. There's an axe rune stalactite.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's equipments. What was the thing that you actually beat me to it?
Well, okay, so I was thinking of Surge of Thought Weft, I want to say. Maybe no, that's the wrong. Shields of Velasvel. There's Shields of Velasvel, which is a
okay.
1 white mana instant that'll turn all your creatures into every creature type till end of turn. And there's also actually a real card, Mirror Entity, that'll do it.
Right.
But their power and toughness will change to whatever mana you put into Mirror Entity. And Mirror Entity is a 1/1 for 3 on its own.
Yeah.
On their own.
So there are ways to go about doing it, but basically, go forth and turn your.
Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry. This is a changeling. I thought they also gave all the creature types. Oh, no, they do. They do. I'm not wrong.
And gain all creature types. Yeah,
I just
that
couldn't
last
read
line
the end of the
text.
sentence fast enough.
So go forth
Had
and
too much coffee,
make
Ben.
shape-shifting eggs. Yeah.
Okay. Shaping Eggs looks really fun.
Yeah.
The other two decks are Madness and
Flashback.
creatures. Or sorry, spells. I mean,
Yeah. So
lots of
Flashback deck
spells.
seems fun. I don't think it's anything too wild and wacky. I think the thing that most people are pretty excited about is that we have a legendary wall now, and that's pretty cool.
Right.
Pillow fight lovers everywhere have found out that you can, yes, absolutely make nobody able to attack ever. You can build your own ensnaring bridge if you'd like. We're talking about Paramacon Sky Rampart.
This is the deck that features the Exotic Orchard, so we should give it a nod for printing that, you know.
And it's a 1/5 flying defender, and then when it enters the battlefield, you choose left or right. And everyone's only able to attack in that direction, essentially. You have to attack the player that's next to you. And a lot of people figured out that you could do an effect like Spark Double, copy it, and choose the opposite direction, which means nobody can attack.
This is, I mean, yeah, I would tend to agree with you. This deck has a whole bunch of, like, the kind of, you would say, typical Spells Matters cards in them. It's got a few interesting spicy hits, like Zetapla is in this deck.
Yep.
And Sun Titan and Ral. Those are all interesting printings for
Yeah.
a Spells deck. But it's mostly, Flashback, Spells Matter kind of archetype. And
It's my favorite archetype to play.
Yeah, no, and it's got this wall commander, so you have the option of playing it in this wall archetype as well, like with this like sort of wall shell to just like build up defenses, pillow fort, as you said, and then just combo that with playing a whole bunch of spells.
Yeah, I think
So, that's
honestly,
fun.
the more exciting card out of this is another one of the other commanders, which is Elsha of the Infinite.
That one actually does look pretty cool.
Well, yeah, because it's another one of those Spells Matter cards that if you run Sensei's Divining Top and some sort of like effect that makes it artifacts cost 1 less, you win. Right, like you basically play like your whole, or you can play through like your whole deck and stuff like that, and it do all kinds of things. And if you want to, you can also punch really hard with her and stuff, right? Because like I think there's so many cool avenues you can go. Like obviously it doesn't work like because Savine, which is the main kind of card, is all about the flashback aspect of the cards.
Spells Matter, flashback, yeah.
And while that's like neat and all, I feel like Elsha can do more with like the cards that are in here a little bit. Like being able to kind of churn through your library really quick is sort of important and a big part of these sort of Spells Matters decks.
Yeah, and Elsha maybe asks more of you as a deck builder to kind of, or as a player to kind of figure out how best to use them. Right?
Yeah. Also, Jins are just super cool. I like the Jeskai Jins a lot.
It's great art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the Jeskai template behind it. Okay, we should wrap that up.
Yeah,
Is that
let's
okay.
all right. We're
gonna wait till Cameron's back on to talk about the rest of the Madness Commander deck, if that's all right.
Yeah. All I will say
Yeah.
on this card is that while a lot of people are kind of nagging on the fact that like Madness is not very good, a lot of Madness cards I think are actually not amazing.
They're just underpowered cards.
Yeah, they're just not amazing. Worth noting that with Anja, you basically kind of get to play blue-white Magic in Rakdos in a way.
Okay. Well, you have your Anja at least.
What it reads as to me is just remember that Madness basically gives things flash in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like you
and with
can,
this, it turns them all into cantrips.
Yeah,
right?
you don't
all your
have
Madness
to
cards
play
replace
on your
themselves.
turn. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. I think this one's kind of been written off really quickly, but it also has the most exciting card in the world, which is Crick, and we can
maybe they just wanted to print Anja and say, hey, and it's just kind of a very straightforward, not super broken Madness deck, but when you have her out and she has haste, so it's like when you land her, then you just get to play this other weird game where you're just like churning through your deck and casting sort of free spells. Like they're all cheap, everything's cheaper when you Madness it, and except for a few of them that are like more expensive because they're twice as powerful.
Yeah.
But usually they're cheaper, and then because you had to work to discard it, and then it replaces itself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about Crick later.
This card's so
I can't do it
sorry,
right
we need
now.
to go do
Can't do
another
it right
show
now.
actually
Yeah.
right now. So that's why we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Crick is probably
If you
the
like
most busted
Bolus
thing out of here.
yeah,
I'm calling this right now. This is Hogak number 2 of Commander.
yeah, we'll come back to Crick. Okay, so
Stop printing cards that make things free. Stop it.
so if you need to pick these Commander decks up, you can do it at cardkingdom.com, and if you go to .com/LRR and tell them that LRR sent me button, please, they'll give you a button. We thank them for all their support of us and everything we do, and we also thank you at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun for all your kinds and generous support and for helping us keep the lights on. And also thank you if you have joined as a YouTube member. So for myself, Nelson, and Paul over in the booth,
Yo.
we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.